Hey guys, I'm still recovering, but I'm going to physical therapy in a few days, so hopefully I will have good news for you on that front soon. Anyways, since I'm still recovering, let's do another roasting video. The last one was pretty recent, but I did also just used to do these way more often, so hopefully I'm not burning you out on them. And as basically any time I make one of these, someone in the comments will go, "You're not even a real fan, you just hate everything." This is a joke video. I'm not sincerely criticizing the characters or the quality of the show, though this time it is pretty rare to find someone who actually defends this series. Bad comedies tend to have very few die-hard stans, so I don't know why you all regard me so highly. I'm about as worthy of you all as Spy Hard. You know, honestly, I know that's not one of his better ones, but that's still a Leslie Nielsen movie. I can't hate. But first, your likes. Please give, maybe subscribe. And I want to apologize for the quality of the images I'm going to use again. For some reason, it is impossible to find high-quality photos of any characters in all of the Transformers through Google. No matter what the show or movie is, all the pictures are going to be in like 144p, and it's just that the popular entries are going to have more of the terrible options to choose from, not better. And with this show, all of the clips on YouTube are horribly compressed and basically unusable. So 144p it is, save for like the one picture of Optimus which was at a grand total of 800p. Well, looky here, if it isn't the origin of Synthol Prime. I guess we now know that Bay is a Beast Machines and Rid 2001 fan. So this is where AoE Optimus got his muscle suit from. The fingerless gloves, the fake painted on abs, the savagely too small speedo. This is midlife Crisismus Prime, here to creep on his son Cyburn's red car crush because he's still totally attractive to younger women, right? And for real, I've never seen an Optimus Prime with a more disconcerting head. There is just something off about this, with the huge pronounced ears, the helmet chin strap that goes underneath the faceplate, the smaller, more angular mouthpiece than normal, and basically only the eyes and a small amount of the cheeks showing. He reminds me of one of those even more fucked up than normal furries, the kind who dress more like a gimp than a mascot. It would make the bloated proportions make sense. What is he, Optimus Chirp, the leather daddy sparrow? I hate every word that just came out of my face. No wonder he and Megatron have such tension. Being furries is the bad guy thing in this series, and here comes this new Optimus Prime trying to seduce all of his men into either joining the Autobots or getting them to let him replace Megatron. Clearly, his only recourse was to make himself Chaos incarnate. Dude, there is over-designed and then there is over-designed. Guy looks like what would happen if a kitschy Chinese castle-themed roadside attraction collapsed in on itself under the weight of how tacky it was, and every gaudy decoration they had was compressed into one. Dude is visual overload. He's got hands with hands on them, he's got a head where a strong wind will make him tweak his neck and a muzzle. He's got Squidward's face on his dick screaming, all filtered through a paint job that's like what if the royal colors threw up on him. But somehow missed his chest, which looks like an alien ship's control console in The Guyver. The man can charitably be described as an explosion of bad taste, which you could also say the same for Optimus, which is yet another reason why he's so worried about being replaced by the dude. Rid 2001, the show where both the leader characters are the single greatest examples of muscled up furries in the whole franchise, somehow when Beast Wars is a thing that already exists. Real talk, did it ever bother anyone else super hard that in the show it was the Autobots versus the Predacons? Maybe it's just my OCD talking, but it should be the Maximals versus the Predacons and the Autobots versus the Decepticons. Crossing the two over just doesn't feel right. But speaking of the Decepticons and their leader characters, Scourge, one of the weirdest assholes of all time. He looks like Optimus Prime on my ass. At least not this version of Optimus Prime. What's your fucking criteria? The fact that he has a faceplate at all? He doesn't even have the window boobs, as his shoulders are made of the same material and he has a truck cab on his back with the window still attached. Sure, I know that this looks like Optimus Prime, but the dude doesn't even have the unreasonable muscles, and he didn't even bother painting on the fake abs, so how does anyone in this show pick up on that? I didn't know that Shadow the Hedgehog had a cyber sona. I am 14 and this is Deep Prime. Dude is colored like depression, and he will be one of so many characters with fingerless gloves. Also, am I crazy or does this kind of look like AI art? Like, I can't rule out the notion that maybe someone upscaled this image because Edgy the Truckee needed his wiki entry picture to be any size larger than the width of a rat's nutsack. Honestly, if you owned rats growing up, you probably know that 144p is definitely not large enough to fit those in frame. Rats are amazing pets that live about half a minute long and have the clown's feet of genitals. And is it clear that I don't have too much to say about this loser that isn't like, guy looks like he plays Grave Domain Cleric in D&D. Boy, it looks like he worships the Grim Reaper and is sad that he isn't dead yet. And as silly as the name Nemesis Prime is, not half of which being that Nemesis is a woman, the Greek goddess of righteous retribution, at least it's not Scourge. Yet another hyper-edgy Sonic character that I can compare this guy to. I don't know if that's a problem with this dude or just Sonic as a whole. Anyways, this guy deserved to have an actor who didn't give a shit playing him in a movie. Then there is Cburn. That's a beating offhand right there. What do you want from me? This dude is rocking the Quagmire Discovering Internet arm. Honestly, this guy is proportioned like a tragedy in general. Giant arm, tiny baby arm. Waist that would make Barbie look like a fat cow. The one bulge to rule them all. Thighs thicker than a bowl of oatmeal mixed with cement, and shins to rival Quagmire's arm. I can only imagine that this dude walks around spine snapped in half, dragging his left fist in the dirt. Also, just the grossest ass feet. That doesn't look right. And I would point out that these are the spare tire cover, so this dude's freak toes are made out of plastic. I can't wait to see this guy try to walk and watch as those abominations shatter off his feet. Also 2 kneecaps, double getting dinged action. They just look like a disease. Am I crazy or is this weedy arm coming pre-broken? I swear before the show ever started someone said, we can rebuild him, we have the technology, about this dude, but then a third of the way through they ran out of budget because it turns out it was in crypto. Real talk, I was gonna put the Zimbabwean dollar there because at a point it was like 1 trillion to the USD, but then I was like, nah, I want something that's actually worthless there. Then there's Cburn here, who in this shot almost looks kind of cool. Like, at least he doesn't have X-Bron's sinful feet, and it doesn't sound like Rufus's porn name, though Cburn is still a deeply lame moniker. It sounds like a 12-year-old trying to come up with something super sick, but was told that Sideswipe was already taken and that fire is cool. Dude could have been like Slide Fire or something, but then he came up with a bit of hair. Tragic. I feel like his knees aren't supposed to flex in the middle of his thigh like that, so maybe that's why he's screaming in that pose, and the dude must have pissed Primus off real bad to get saddled with kibble like that. Let me see. I'm gonna give you the immovable cape that's hanging behind your shoulder so you can't move your arms back at all, shield on your bicep in the most unhelpful position that can really only accidentally block attacks that only come from the left, multiple fins on your legs to get caught on things, with blade-thin feet that will sink into any material less solid than concrete like it's quicksand, gigantic diaper with a little gas cap hole on the front of it to imply that your dick is tiny and it's also quick draw so everyone thinks you're a pervert, and a waist like your brother's that makes an insect's thorax look like the densest material on Earth. You look like you could snap in half if I tugged on your kibble, and yet somehow it is your thigh that is the first thing to fail. So Primus ordered you with extra bad QC as well. I think they call that the Earthrise Special. Finally, Prowl is the least cursed of the Autobot brothers. His worst sin is having a magical girl side Scourge and the propensity to pose like one as well. But look at that. He's got a shield where a shield goes. It's not in his way. Relatively normal human proportions with a waist that doesn't look like he stole it from Jessica Rabbit. Actually useful feet. And no part of his body looks like it's already breaking. I mean, the worst thing I can say about the dude is that he's got Primus's favorite shoulders, ones that destroy your peripheral vision. No wonder this guy has an attitude about Cburn. He always acts like he's better than him. Because he is. Even if he is still a pervert, as all Cybertronians are, or did you think I wouldn't notice that banana hammock and the bondage gear baby bib? Then you got Ryden. Nice monotit, bro. Were you like, Shockwave must be defeated in this arms race? Or are you just him in disguise like he was in animated? I hate your Dr. Scholes, dude. You got one cool-ass Gundam foot, and then the other is ready for the golf course. And I know that's your mouth, but I swear that you have little Muppet eyes gazing at me from under your visor. I'll give you this, at least you have a consistent color scheme unlike a lot of combiners. Even if it does make you look like a brand of toothpaste. But you are made out of trains, so here's how I plan on dealing with you. I don't make any attacks near a rail line. That leaves 99% of the world's surface. Congratulations on being completely useless, especially in America, idiot. Then there's Gas Skunk. I will make no jokes about this guy, except for his name. Not because the rest of him is above being mocked, it's just that his name deserves it so much more. What are you, Brick from Anchorman in disguise as a spy who someone asked you your name, which for some reason you had yet to come up with, then you smelled a fart and looked in a mirror? You just responded, Gas Skunk. I am sure that you are the least popular guy on your team. You smell bad and you can't even make for good conversation. Lastly for this video is Ultra Magnus. Well, if it isn't the most powerful wielder of the shins in the universe, Captain Cankle himself. Some dudes in this series have mighty shins, but yours looks like it ate theirs. You have more shin than Prowl has atoms, and you have more edge than the name Scourge paired with a black and red design. You are edgy like getting stabbed 75 times with those chisels you have on your shoulders. And I'm not even talking about the fingerless gloves. Everyone in this series has those. No, it's just that personality of yours is like talking to a 13-year-old on DeviantArt back in 2006 who only listens to Evanescence because they are the only band that's real music. Also, the weird Muppet vampire robot in your chest is absolutely adorable. That doesn't undercut your mysterious loner vibe at all. God, everyone in this show is so lame. I know I didn't get to most of the Predacons in this one. Like, how am I going to roast Rid 2001 and not let Skybite have it? But look, I'll deal with all those Power Rangers monsters of the week that pass for main adversaries who always get their ass kicked, eventually when I have more time. And I'll be honest, it is entirely due to me being an idiot who couldn't keep focused that caused me to run out. But such is life. Sometimes you gotta look for pictures that you need, then you spend an hour and 30 minutes watching YouTube shorts and going, what the fuck just happened? And before we go, let's thank a channel backer. And this time it's Rainbow Spaghetti with Comic Edition Soundwave. I'm assuming I wrote that wrong and that's supposed to be Shockwave. And look, I have been singing the praises of Siege Shockwave since it came out. It's just a wonderful figure, with maybe not the best posing or ult mode ever, but it feels good, it looks good, the transformation is remarkably stress-free, becoming the thing that he's supposed to, and while I do bemoan the loss of his Space Dreadnought of Death mode that he had, there really is just no arguing with a cel-shaded figure. Those always look so awesome, and the more accurate colors are just tasty here. Love this thing, would totally have bought it if I had realized that it was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive and not a Walmart one, but I am an idiot, and bad comedy, and that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.